And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. Kassarian, and welcome to another episode of Space Engineers. Nice. All right, so let's get started for the day, shall we? What are we working on today? That's a good question. The first thing we're going to start making today is an arc furnace. And the arc furnace is basically an advanced refinery that can really only process one thing. Okay? It can basically only process iron ore, as a matter of fact. And it's much more effective at processing said iron ore than just about any other processor we have available to us. So let's look up and find some construction materials. There we go. So that should cook up pretty quickly. Oh god, that's seizure inducing. I forget if you actually get inside the... Yeah, see that. That visual effect. I thought they'd fix that a while back, but apparently not. So I want to warn you guys, if you are prone to seizures, Space Engineers may not be the best game to play. Alright, so now let me show you this. So if we find the arc furnace, right? It can only store about 4,000 liters, but why are you claiming you aren't able to connect? You should be connected to this thing, right? Wait a second. Oh, you don't actually have that there, do you? Now that's interesting. That's very interesting. Okay, so we'll have to stick this... Huh. Well, I know what we can actually do. Hold on. Hold on for a second here. I know what we can do with this. Might be a little counterintuitive, but we can do it. Let's just cut through this light armor. And that's just part of our refinery right there. So the refinery's big enough that nothing bad's going to happen by cutting through this. Yeah, see? Now, if I... How do I want to do this? I could install it here, but I think that's space. I think there's just space on this side of the slide arm block. We'll see as soon as the texture changes a little bit. Are you space out there? I can't tell. No, you're not actually. Yeah, okay. So we can do this then. What are you? You're more light armor. Okay. So this must have just been filler then. I mean, it's an interesting place to have the filler. But let's just make sure this is still connected through there. Yeah, okay, good. Can't go in through there anymore. Or there, as a matter of fact. All right. Let's zip down over to here. Let's just get in through here now. All right. Let's jump back up. Of course, I forgot to start my timer. Let's drop down here. Perfect. And then let's just get ourselves a conveyor block. I need 50 interior plates. Would you look at that? Exactly what I have on me. Almost like I've been thinking about doing this. You know, there's 60 construction components. We're still cooking those up, so I still need 28 construction components. Let's get back to here. We'll have this fixed in just a minute, guys. Don't you worry about a thing. Okay. Ooh, there's an industrial transport. Okay, so I need another 38 small steel tubes. Let's get over to here. Now let's search. Nope. Alright, so that's going to cook up. And then how many more? Alright, so let's also drop that down. Okay. I still need another 7 steel plates. And this will cook up like this. As long as it doesn't blow my eyes out again, I'll be happy. We should get ourselves an arc furnace. Or blast furnace, as the game calls it on the side of it. That's fine. And you need the rest of those steel tubes. And possibly some more construction components. Let's see. I'll be perfectly honest, construction components are some of the most irritating things to craft in the world. Alright, so we'll get another conveyor built. I almost want to check out the industrial arch transport, but I feel like that would be a terrible, terrible idea. Alright, the conveyor just went live. Oh, it can process nickel too. Look at that. Also, look at how quickly it's processing. Yeah. That's pretty nice and fast there. And that's pretty impressive right there. Okay. So another thing we're going to make is something called a rock. Called a crusher. A stone crusher. So we come in here, production, and I need large blocks. It should be down here somewhere. As you can see, it's probably going to take us a fair bit of time to get that done. You can scrub that. Move that to the back of the line. Move that over. And that over as well. Alright, so that's going to cook itself up quite nicely. I'm still always irritated how I have to actually physically move things around whenever I'm doing this. Okay, so now we need one of these guys. And it's a little big. Yeah, let's go with it's a little big. Now what I think I'll do in this instance is... we're going to pull these out. And we're just going to be walking right on the floor. Okay? Now, I have an idea to build this a little bit larger, let's say. Or rather, I'm going to need more space than the ship can provide right now, especially in her damaged state. Actually, even undamaged, she's a little bit too small for my purposes. But the main thing is I need to crush stone, I need to get all this material built, and I need to have some decent processing methods before I can start doing that. Actually, theoretically, I could just put this right here, right? just like that, right? Yeah, I could. All right, so let's go over to here. Let's get some steel plates out. And then I need another 40. All right, so that's, let's see, 19, 59. Yeah, there's 69 steel plates. We can do that without too much difficulty. Of course, that's if I can get up there to do it. Okay, then I need 15 construction components and 12 motors. All right, that's not too bad. Okay. 6 large steel tubes, 5 computers, and 5 more construction components. Okay. Six large steel tubes. All right, let's get the rest of this finished. Yep, I need one more large steel tube. There we go. And that should be actually almost the last thing we need. Unless I'm drastically mistaken. Oh, Stone Crusher just turned on. Nice. So it's running quite nicely. And hopefully it's going to pull all the stone out, turn it into gravel, and we're going to have a nice day of things. Hopefully. Let's just make sure there's no stone in our refinery or our arc furnace. No, that all seems to be doing pretty well. Arc furnace is chewing down that nickel, all right. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. All right, so let's also... Come on, let me through. Let me through. Okay, so this assembler, right? He's going to go into cooperative mode. Or no, he's not. Assembler 2, on the other hand, is. Assembler 1 is going to work on another. Let's do another arc furnace, actually. There we go. Okay. All right, so that's going to produce all of that junk. We can, in the meantime, set this up down here. Which, as you can see, is not quite the easiest task in the world, but it could be worse. And yes, this is generally what happens when I start working on ships. I end up, ripping them halfway apart and usually remembering how to put them back together again. Usually. Not always, though. Kind of depends on the day. Actually, depends a lot on the day, come to think of it. All right, so let's drop that in there. Let's put those up there. Drop down here. All right, I need some more interior plates, of course. Let's see. Interior. I don't think I'll have quite enough. Oh, I do. Just need 60 more construction components. All right. $60 more construction components. Goody, good, good. Another 38 small steel tubes. Fine. That'll be 38 small steel tubes. Awesome. And then what else do I need? Another 20 construction components. Okay. So let's steal some of these. And let's just drop down back down here. Alright, now I just actually need those small steel tubes. So we'll cut this out. You know, it's funny, they filled all this in with block space, but they really didn't need to. Though, it does let you tell pretty quickly what's outer hull and what isn't. Alright, so... Uh-oh. I may have just gotten myself into an issue here. Well, I can actually just do a manual transfer as well. Let's do that, and then this. There we go. Why is the gravel all dumping in here? I feel like it's going to be one of those things I have to keep cleaning out now. Great. All right, so you're there. That's good. Let's just pop in here for a second. Industrial refinery support, Mark 1. That would be a juicy, juicy target, but I don't think I have the capability to actually take her. That's the primary issue. Okay, so we have our cargo over there. There we go. Back to our processing zone. Okay, we have the rest of these now? Yes, we do. Awesome. We are almost done. Okay. And that's complete. Beautiful. All right. So, now. Let's put these away. Let's put this away. And those away. All right. And then I need 2 large steel tubes. Oops, not quite that far up, please. There we go. And we're all set with that. So now I have 2 arc furnaces, which is always good to see. Which will let us process ore a lot faster than we were doing before. Which, of course, was the primary objective of this episode. Good, 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 good. Okay, so now, how are we doing? Our drills are empty. That's a good sign. These, I'll have to empty these out manually. A lot of iron. A lot of iron. Okay, so that's good. Now if we check our arc furnaces, we should see plenty of materials getting cooked up. As you can see, iron, it just burns through that iron. Look at that. Absolutely crisping through. Perfect. Excuse me. And the stone crusher doesn't do a half bad job either, actually. You know? So, it already chewed through plenty enough gravel. Now, is there any more stone left anywhere in here? I don't think so, actually. I think that's all done. Good, good, good. Okay, so the other thing I'm working on, by the by, is this thing. This is basically going to be a mining / support rig. And as you can see, I'm putting thrusters on it. And basically, this thing's going to be a docking setup for us. All right. I need 20 steel plates and 6 small steel tubes. Basically, let's see, 20 steel plates. Come on, where are you? And all right, so basically what I'm going to be able to do with it is just put it somewhere and then dock my mining ships to it and be able to use it as basically a kind of miniature home base, if you will. 6 motors and 6 computers. Okay, and we can do that. So there we go. So let's do 6 motors and oh, I need 1 more computer. There we go. It basically uses a cargo tug. It's a glorified cargo tug and basically communications relay for me. Nothing really more than that, actually. It doesn't even really have the capability to mine or do anything else other than just store cargo, relay information, and just act as, in essence, a support base for my other operations. Let's see, place to sit. There we go. Yoink. The other thing I realized when I was in the middle of doing this is that I haven't even built a med bay yet. I'm in episode 4 and I haven't even built a med bay. What am I doing? I know, right? It's like, Cass, what are you even doing here, man? No med bay? Come on. All right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to use up the last of these resources. Actually, we should go steel. I am literally just going to use the last of my resources that I have stored up. We're just kind of welding stuff together now because we can. Okay. So, what do I need for this? 6 computers, 6 motors, 6 small steel tubes. Okay. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. I think it goes. Now, we'll just check that out. Okay. So all this ship is designed to do is just to dock. Will basically serve as a docking and cargo collection point for other operational ships, as well as in the future. If I have multiple large ships floating around, it's going to be my, basic cargo tug, in essence. So if we just go over the features, it has some thrusters, just a couple thrusters, 2 in each direction, basically. And those, all right, so there's 6, 6, 6. So those are really only there just to allow it to hold still. Same with the 2 gyros it has. Okay. 6 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Awesome. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Awesome. Switch back to system inventories. Beautiful. Now I can at least get this part welded together. And I'm also actually going to put a cockpit on it. It is moderately capable of flight on its own. I mean, there's nothing stopping it from flying on its own. There's nothing that says it can't fly on its own. Simultaneously, there's nothing that says it's especially good at flying on its own either. In fact, I actually wouldn't hesitate to really want to fly on it on its own. But that's either here nor there, really. I mean, it's what it is. It is what it is. It's basically a cargo ship. Alright, so that's one thruster. And yes, I know that in vanilla this would be causing thruster burn. But I don't like playing with thruster burn because I find the thruster burn is overly strict and silly. That's actually the whole reason I don't ever have thruster burn turned on. Because it's like, we design rockets with, you know, better thrust containment than these Space Engineer ships have. So I don't see why we seem to have, you know. I understand if you put something directly behind the nozzle, it's going to decrease efficiency, thruster burn, all that jazz. What I don't understand is when you have a ship, like this one, where you're designing it to have the thrusters located where they are, and they cause thruster burn. And there's really nothing you can do about it. Okay, so I need one more thruster component. How many superchargers do I have? So I need one more construction component on this side. Alright, that's not too bad. We can manage that. Boink. Alright, so let's drop down to here. One more construction component. I'm also going to need, I believe, 6 more of these superchargers. They are used by these, like, one-block engines. I think it's a good balance, you know, a little bit more resources. The azimuth engines. So, I mean, it's a little bit more resources, but it's a one-block thruster. You know, that's awesome. Just having that is amazing. All right, so let's attach that. Let's see how this guy's making out. And we're short on platinum again. Well, we're refining platinum, so that's at least good. Just drag these over and start finishing up the thrusters over here. Alright, so I need at least 5 more thrust components and 5 more. Okay. And that's my alarm. So let's do 5 more thruster components. And 5 more construction components. And I'm sorry to say, guys, that this is the point at which I have to say goodbye. So, this has been Mr. Kassarian. I want to thank you guys for watching. In the next episode, we will have this little ship finished up and maybe a little treat that goes with her. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. And as always, guys, happy building.